Hello there, Trash Pandas! Today it's my channel's birthday! Yep, this day, 1 year ago, I uploaded my first ever video. And honestly, I'm still pretty damn proud of it. So, to go back a bit, the reason I actually started this channel in the first place was as a sort of confidence boost. You see, back before I was doing this, the actual thought of talking in front of a camera just seemed completely bizarre and alien to me. And honestly, if you told me back then that I'd still be doing this a year later, I'd have just called you insane. But, as with all first videos, it's not perfect. I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I mean, I still don't, but that's not the point. But the sound quality was bad, the lighting was just awful, and I'd never edited a video before in my life. So, to celebrate my channel becoming a year old, I thought what better way to celebrate than to try and honour that original video by remaking it using all of the skills that I've learned over the last year. And hopefully it will actually be an improvement. 9, The Last Resort. This is a game I first experienced when I was very young, and honestly it's probably heavily responsible for my love of all things weird and surreal. 9 was a surprisingly high-budget project with an absolutely huge cast, being produced by Robert De Niro and with characters voiced by Cher, Christopher Reeve, Aerosmith's Steven Tyler and Joe Perry, and the list just goes on. It's your standard point-and-click puzzle game, but with the exception that you can only hold one item at a time. If you want to pick something else up, you're gonna have to put down the item that you're holding in its place. The solutions for most of the puzzles are hidden among the artwork in the resort, but a lot of the paintings and sculptures are also just there for show, so you have to really scrutinise all of the details in every room. But believe me, that's not actually a chore. The artwork in this game is just bizarre and beautiful. And then there's also these flesh things. Like seriously, what is that? What did it do? Starting out, the game leaves you pretty much clueless, but if you pay attention, there's a deep story to be uncovered as you progress through the game. But the gist of it is that your uncle, first and last, died and left a hotel to you named The Last Resort. This place was an absolute haven for musicians, with their creativity being boosted by the 9 muses inhabiting the resort. But then everything fell apart when the Toxic Twins appeared and just started causing havoc, destroying any sort of musical inspiration, and not to throw around accusations, but they definitely killed Uncle Thurston. So if you haven't guessed already, music is a very strong theme here. Almost all of the puzzles revolve around some sort of musical instrument, with the core goal being to decipher sheet music to play at the giant monkey organ and get rid of the Toxic Twins for good. You know, just normal hotel stuff. And trust me, it starts off simple enough, but by the end of the game you'll have deciphered an entire alphabet. Oh, and don't think you're going to have your hand held through this either. Bring a pen and paper because you're going to need to make so many notes. Oh, but it's fine, I'll just look online for a solution, right? Wrong. The game just seems to randomly assign letters and puzzles, so you're gonna have to do it all for yourself. To be honest, a lot of the puzzles in this game were actually way ahead of their time. So, before you can even get through the front doors, you'll get asked for the passcode. Boxed with the game is the actual will telling you that you've inherited the resort, and at the bottom of this is the door code. I guess it was just a clever way of including some sort of copy prevention, but I do like the way that it's designed like a puzzle. But this took me ages to work out as a kid. Salty just kept telling me to check the chicken scratchings on the letter, but the game hadn't given me a letter. I had the same confusion with Meryl's codec number in Metal Gear Solid. I was not a smart child. Then there's a Simon Says style game that has you remembering sequences of drum rhythms. There is no rat shooting game. There's a card matching memory puzzle where all of the cards are sounds, and if your memory is as bad as mine, it's probably going to take you a while. And we don't talk about the rat shooting game. Honestly, 9 is so engraved in my memory, I think it formed the foundation for my taste in music and art, and it really made me appreciate the surreal. Nostalgia goggles are definitely playing a part in this, but I really can't find a fault with this game. Rat shooting game aside, it's challenging, bizarre, engaging, it has a fantastic voice cast, and considering its age, the visuals are still just beautiful. So then, where did it go wrong? Well, I wouldn't exactly say the game was a failure, but it was never going to make up for the cost it took to create, and so it became such an obscure title not many people have really heard of it. there was never going to be a chance of a remaster or a re-release ever being made, so getting it to work on modern computers is possible, but it's still a nightmare. 9 deserved so much more attention than it got. I really just think it was ahead of its time. Had it been released more recently, I have no doubt that it would have taken off and become a classic. Maybe one day it will get noticed again, and some developer will end up reviving it, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But this has been a love letter to 9, The Last Resort. So there you have it, my first ever video. Was it an improvement? Oh god, was it worse? Now, I took a bit of a streaming hiatus after the original video, so I never actually did get around to streaming 9. But I am seriously considering doing a full playthrough, because I honestly think you have to experience the game in its full glory. But for now, as always, please do hit the good YouTube buttons if you've enjoyed this video, because it helps so much. And if you want to see what else I've been up to, my socials are down in the description below. But I do just want to say that this last year has been absolutely amazing, and thank you so much for watching.